Hello, this is an A&B conversation. I'm B,
I'm A.
and let's get into it. We were just talking about being wrong,
Yeah.
right?
It's
You
okay to
know,
be wrong.
it really is. Kind of going off of our last discussion in a way,
Yeah, in a way, yeah.
a self-reflection. It does have like being wrong has a lot to do with
Yes.
self-reflection
Yeah.
because if you don't admit when you're wrong, you're unable to self-reflect,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of what I like when I'm wrong, I see that as an opportunity, right?
Yep.
To become a better person,
Yep.
to realize I've made a mistake and that's okay to make a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just,
You're not gonna get everything on the first try. It's not you're not
you
always
don't come out of your mom fucking walking around.
literally.
You gotta fall, you gotta crawl.
Mm-hmm.
You're not just gonna be right all the damn
Yeah, you're
time.
gonna hit your knuckles a couple times doing it, but hey, after those couple times, you're gonna know when to do it. You ain't gonna hit your knuckle no more.
Exactly, and the issue I'm seeing a lot, especially these days because of anyway, uh we is that people are so afraid of being wrong, so much so that they get angry about it. Instead of taking it as a moment to self-reflect, it's immediate anger.
No, I'm right. I'm right. I'm right. There's
And
nothing wrong with being wrong.
and even when a lot of the time, even when they're proven wrong.
It's still in the mindset of no, I'm right. You can't tell me I'm wrong. Well,
Yeah,
that's just you telling me. That's not the whole world telling me. It doesn't matter.
yeah,
There's nothing wrong with being wrong. At school, you constantly we're in its little moments too. Not even moments like the way we would do it now. Taking a test or finding out this person likes this person or whatever. You're wrong. It's okay, man. Life goes on.
yeah.
This not gonna affect
There's
you.
another test.
There's another test. There's another girl. There's always these things. You're gonna be wrong.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And the way I look at it is, if you're always trying to be right and never wrong, you're never gonna be right.
exactly.
You're never gonna be
100%.
right.
Two wrongs will
Do
never
not
make
make
a
a right.
right. Never,
Exactly. See,
never,
there you
bro,
go.
never. Like, and that's one of the biggest problems we have these days is everyone's so busy trying to be right that nobody is.
Yep. hmm
You know,
And that's how we start that conflict, like we were saying in the other one, the conflict of
competition.
competition.
Yeah,
Oh, I know I'm right. He's got to be wrong, so I'm
yeah.
better than him.
Instead of sitting down and finding common ground,
hmm
you're too busy trying to be right
Yep.
because maybe you're both wrong.
And that's one a hard pill they cannot swallow.
Yeah, because
Both being wrong.
if nobody's right and we're all wrong, then we're all, this, and that, when it should be, let's sit down and find out what's right.
Yeah, let's
You
right. So
know,
we can all be right and on the same path.
and I see it a lot in our, in the people who run our country, let's say. Like I don't want to talk politics on
No,
here,
yeah, yeah. But
nothing
to
like
be
that.
but to be
But
honest in a
yeah,
standpoint.
just in general, like back back when the country started in general, it was about finding common ground. Like, yeah, obviously not for certain people, and that's a whole other
Oh
discussion.
yeah.
Like, they were wrong,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why we
Horribly wrong.
progressed. But at the it was all about finding common ground, and now it's about bashing.
Mm-hmm.
There's no discourse anymore. It's all I'm right, you're wrong, and then everyone's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's right anymore. There's no common ground. It should be about finding that common ground. Nobody's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's what your mindset should be. You cannot think yourself as a god because that if you're not wrong, right? If you're not wrong,
Yeah,
you're God, right? Like you're a
yeah,
god
you're not.
because
So
you're
why would you be on this plane?
yeah, why would you pretend to be a god when you're not?
Mm-hmm.
You're a human being.
And that
You have to accept that you're going to be wrong sometimes.
literally, and
It's just fact.
you're gonna that and it's funny too because it always ends up circling back. But the fact of being uncomfortable, you got
Yep.
to be uncomfortable with being wrong, and it's not the
Hmm.
fact of oh I'm always gonna be wrong. No, you got to be, you got to understand yourself and understand the situation of hey man, it's a learning
It
experience.
really
Never
is.
look at it as oh I'm wrong, damn I'm no. I just
And you
learned
go
hey
back to negativity at that point,
exactly exactly
and being wrong It's a tool. You can't see it as like it's uncomfortable, it's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why that's our biggest issue right now is everybody correlates being wrong with being bad, being a bad,
No.
stupid, etc. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's not
Not the case.
accurate.
Yeah, exactly.
Being wrong is a tool. It's a tool to better yourself
Mm-hmm.
because when you can understand when you're where and when you're wrong, you can change that.
Yeah.
And
Literally
then
like trial and error, like how
yeah,
everything is built in the world. They didn't just magically appear with the wheel. They
yeah,
didn't magically appear with, cars, this and
exactly.
that. They went through trial and error of, okay, we did this. Oh, it didn't work. Well, you know what? Let's try this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's the
Like
whole point of being acceptable with it.
yeah, you have to accept the fact that you're wrong,
Mm-hmm.
and you will be wrong.
Mm-hmm. A
And
lot of times in your life.
it's it's about realizing where and when, and once you start making those changes, you'll be wrong less in that instance,
Mm-hmm.
and you can move on from it. If you continue to be wrong, if you keep thinking you're right when you're wrong, you're just going to stay right there doing the same thing over and over and over again
Mm-hmm.
because you're unable to learn the lesson you're supposed to learn.
Mm-hmm. And then you're really gonna get quick to get angry or anything when you are actually proven wrong.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
And that's the horrible thing is the fact of, hey man, you don't need to get that mad when you're wrong. You just said it right now. You're learning.
I'm just
This is
pointing
a
it
good
out
thing. Yeah, this is like, to be honest, the way my life has been going. Not I'm not gonna say the life been going, but of self learning and everything. I'm
here.
actually glad now when I have moments of I'm wrong because it's like, hey, I just learned a new thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, it's about being wrong is a way to better yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're always right, what are you doing? You're not going anywhere, you're not progressing, you're just right all the damn time. Like if you're right all the damn time, like what the
What's the
hell are
point
we
of it
even
now?
doing,
Exactly.
Like
And
you
like
don't
and
learn nothing
And like you were saying, you're not trying to get into politics or everything, but in the fact of a society standpoint for government, they always want to be like, no, we know what's best
for
because
you.
we're right. Yes,
Yeah.
no.
And who's
You
to
gotta
say you're
understand.
right?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, yes, it might be good for this group of people, but it's not going to be good for this people. So you got to meet that common ground
Yeah.
and see, like, okay, well, this will be right for both of y'all.
Yeah,
We can do
exactly.
this, and it'll be right. And nobody's wrong.
Yeah, but we'd rather be so right that it's not good for anyone
Mm-hmm.
at that point, Like we're so far away from where we should be because people are so damn hard-headed
Yes.
that they're unwilling to change their perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And living so rigidly, it's boring. Like, I mean,
It's draining.
it really is. Like, how can you spend so much time pushing how right you are? You're using all of that energy to be right when you're so wholly wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You could be putting that towards something better.
Learning the wrong and good and getting it to a right and learning other ones.
Yeah,
Yeah,
moving
yeah.
forward instead of sitting in the same place because you're right. Yeah,
Hmm.
apparently you're right.
Like one of the big things with my reflection of learning, to be okay with wrong was how would you say? Well, I guess it would say 50-50 about music and mechanics because those are my
Hmm.
best thing.
Yeah,
But I'll use the music as an example. There was a lot of times because I've done behind the scenes work before I started doing main work like those.
yeah,
I used to backup dance. A lot of people don't understand. I used to backup dance for Chris Brown when he was back then. Before he was even fully blown up. A lot of people don't see. So when I would explain stuff to people, it was automatically, from their point of view, it was automatically like, no, you're wrong, and I'm trying to tell you you're wrong, and I'm right. No, I'm trying to show you and tell you, like, hey, man, I went through this, I saw this. So if you see stuff or whatever it is, you can take it as like, okay, man, he wasn't wrong. He was just helping me in the fact of learning, like, okay, this is the way of how I want to do it, and vice versa. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's okay to be wrong because wrong and how do I can explain it so people don't take it wrong? Because I don't want to keep like refilling the same words too,
yeah,
but it's like it's okay to be wrong because of the simple fact of you're learning, and learning means you're getting better. So you want to look at it as say we're children, when we're adolescent, you know, and we did actually care about school. Like, oh, mom, I'm gonna go learn about this today.
yeah,
Use that as an example of life, as you're older. Like, oh man, I'm gonna learn this today.
yeah,
I'm gonna learn this
exactly.
today.
Like be happy, be glad that you're learning
Hmm.
instead of just stuck in being right all the time, And being right all the time pushes people away too. Like you're not supposed to be. It's It's unempathetic,
That's crazy.
you know?
Golly, it's crazy because you really have those moments when you sit down and realize, like, don't fight it. Yeah. I'm sorry, I keep circling around it, but it's really the main thing. And that's what I said in the last one. I'll say it again. You gotta take, you gotta take this as a, I guess you would say as a model. Be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Exactly.
There
You
is
always
nothing
got to be.
wrong with it.
It really, there really isn't. You know, a lot of people hide from uncomfortability
Hmm.
by being right,
Yes, literally.
by just being so certain
I know
that
I'm
you're
so right.
right.
You can't tell me nothing. You can't.
Yeah, because I'm otherwise it's uncomfortable for them to be
Mhm.
wrong. And it's not a bad thing.
No, it's not.
Again,
It's not a bad thing.
uncomfortability is not bad.
To be honest, in this era of time and generation and everything, I think that's the best thing to have is uncomfortability.
Yeah,
I really think it
exactly.
is.
It drives you if you allow it.
Hmm.
You can't fight what is a state of being, you know? Uncomfortability is a state of being. Happiness is a state of being. Anger is a state of being. Sadness is a state of being. It doesn't make you who you are.
You know.
But if you sit there and you ruminate on a specific state of being and incorporate that as who you are, then that ends up being you
Yep.
angry, sad, anxious,
Hateful,
because
all that. Yep.
you're unable to move past that particular state of being because you're uncomfortable, you know, and then you end up just perpetuating the uncomfortability.
Hmm.
And you have to move past the uncomfortability. And in some cases, that is admitting you're wrong,
Yep.
admitting that these habits you've had in the past no longer suit you, admitting that these thoughts and conclusions that you've come to are foul or a fallacy, you know, like once you can admit that, you can progress. But if you're constantly in a state of being right, you can't progress.
No, you can't. It's like how would I put it in another way? People inventing things and whatnot. You got to go. Like how we were saying last one, it's a trial and error. You can't just automatically just have it.
Yeah,
You got to go through the process of learning it, seeing what it is, examining it
refining
all
it.
the way, refining it, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? And then, being able to actually have the factual presentation of it. Like not just, oh, here's this and this is this because of this. No,
yeah,
here's this because I know it's made of this or it was constructed of this and whatnot. And it like how we said, it's an enlightenment of learning like, wow, I just figure this out.
yeah.
You know what I mean? We'll put it in another standpoint, like video games.
Fair.
When you finally get past that hard boss or find a new location or something, what did you do to do that?
Yeah,
You
trial
learn.
and error.
Hmm.
You know,
And
and
back around.
everyone's so scared of the error. Like,
Hmm.
but you can't learn without error. You
Hmm.
know, you can't learn without being wrong, and
You
that's
can't.
that's okay. It's a good thing to be wrong. So
Hmm.
it really is. Like our society wants to push that being wrong's bad, that it's
No.
it's the worst thing you can be, you know, you're just stupid, you know. If you're wrong, you're dumb kind of thing. But no, it's a good thing. It's good to be wrong. It's good
Hmm.
to admit when you're wrong because you just perpetuate it. You perpetuate the thing that you know is wrong.
Literally. And you just keep yourself in a destroying in a destructive cycle. You keep yourself in a destructive cycle because a lot of people will think, oh, well, that's not bad. I'm in this cycle. It hasn't done really bad to me.
You know, I'm
It
just
is.
living in it,
It is.
you
It
know.
is. It is tearing you down. You don't feel it at the moment, but little by little,
Once
you
you're
are
out
tearing
of
it
it,
down.
you'll see it. I'll tell you that right now.
Yes, you will.
Once you're able to start admitting where you're wrong and actually work on those things, after the fact, you'll look back on that like, damn, that was just a kid. Like that was just like I was just a dumb little kid, you know.
Hmm.
Like I just needed to learn,
Literally.
and
Hmm.
that's all it is. It's
It's okay to be uncomfortable, and it's okay to be wrong to learn. Take that. Take that. If you take anything from any of these casts,
hmm
people, it's okay to be wrong, and it's okay to be uncomfortable.
in fact, it's good.
It is. It is
It's
very good.
good. Well, I mean,
You know, you know,
yeah.
there's, how else would I mean, I want to say I put it in most of the good, things, but, I mean, yeah, the main thing is, there's nothing wrong with being wrong. Like, even like, oh, I'll even use it as an example of myself right now.
Okay.
Like, I stress myself out with, oh, I gotta pay this, and this,
Yeah.
and I know, yeah, I can sit there and be negative and be like, oh, I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna make it. But I use that in the fact of, yeah, I know I might not make it, but I'm trying,
Yeah.
you know,
You're working.
exactly. And a lot of people are gonna look at that like, oh, how does this correlate with being the wrong thing? Is, it's another form of not of accepting it, because you don't want to block it. You don't want to cover it. You don't want to,
Hide from
yeah. So it's one
reality.
of those moments of being okay to be uncomfortable, because yes, I'm wrong. I'm in the wrong, whatever it is, but you're going to get better because you're working on it. You're
Yeah.
learning like, hey man, I can do this. And I know this is going to help me get this faster, and it's easing yourself to where you're not so just negative and just angry with the fact of like, oh man, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. Like, no, man.
Yeah. And when you're able to accept when you're wrong, when you're
Yes.
able to progress after that acceptance, things get easier
Way
because
easier.
you learn where you were wrong and you do better next time. And then every step becomes better and better because you're not holding on to something that's
That heavy
incorrect.
step turned into a glide. Now you're gliding
Exactly.
past it. Like, yep.
Yeah. 100%. You want
I
close?
guess, yeah, I could. So, I mean, that's the main get. Like I said, if you take anything, the main thing I want y'all to take from this is it's okay to be uncomfortable. It is great to be uncomfortable.
Yeah,
It
it
is
really
amazing.
is.
The
And wrongness is better
It's
than
part of
being
life.
right a lot
It's
of the
literally part
time.
of life.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that, as we were talking about with the empathy before, you know, it's been taken out of us.
Yeah.
And being wrong, being okay with being wrong has been taken out of us, and
Yeah.
invited back.
Society has taken our ability to be okay with making mistakes.
Yep.
Like, we making mistakes is human.
Yes.
You're supposed to make mistakes because that's how you learn. But
Yes.
society and the people running us have spent so much time pushing that being right's the only way that nobody wants to
To
be
be
wrong.
wrong.
Nobody
Yes.
wants to make mistakes. They're so terrified of making a mistake that they end up continuing to make mistakes. And if you want to take something from this, then yes, take that mistakes are okay. You should make mistakes.
Yes, you should. Yes.
You should be
Exactly.
wrong.
You should. If you and
And
don't
you
take
should
this as wrong.
yeah,
Don't
don't
take it as, oh man, I have to make mistakes. No.
no, no,
Be
no.
okay with making
Yeah, be
mistakes.
okay with making
Don't
them.
beat
Don't go
yourself
out there
up.
to make mistakes, but
Yes.
learn
I
from
hate
the
to say it, but
mistakes you make.
we have to be
Yeah.
somewhat
Mhm.
upfront with saying
Yeah,
that, because a lot of people
exactly.
will take us, oh man,
Let me
this is
go
a good
jump
thing to
off a
make.
cliff.
No,
Yeah,
no,
no, no.
no. You gotta be okay with being uncomfortable and being wrong.
Yeah,
It's gonna better you. Don't look at everything. The main thing, be positive. Be
yeah.
positive.
You
Don't
have
be
to.
negative. The more you're negative, the more your life is gonna be
The
negative.
more your wrongs will feel
You
negative.
exactly. You put in positive, you're gonna get positive. You put in negative, you're gonna get negative. So that's how you're gonna do it. And like I said, we're gonna keep doing this.
Oh
This
yeah.
is an A and B conversation. I'm A.
I'm B.
See your way out.